a secret item that lets you attack both Horde and Alliance players at the same time, crazy server transfer methods to really dominate the economy, and some of the best leveling exploits we've ever seen on a video. This is the ultimate guide containing all the hidden strategies, all the exploits, to really take your Season of Discovery Phase 5 gameplay to the next level. First, we've got some really strong PvP exploits, whether you're ranking or you just want to get revenge on some gnomes and kill them. So for one thing, there's this PvP item that nobody's talking about. It is one of the most insane in classic history. The supercharged Gobmogrifier for 50 reals from Pix and Booty Bay. Not only is it a key part of the Terrestris questline for shamans, a really epic new tank shield that everybody's gonna want, but the Gobmogrifier item itself also contains a secret line of code that allows you to attack both Horde and Alliance players in Blackrock Mountain. That means you could double your honor per hour in BRM just farming both factions simultaneously, or you could just get revenge on that one guy who stole your mob tag back in Phase 1. Then if you plan on hitting the rank 14 grind, get yourself exalted with Hydraxian Waterlords as soon as possible. The reason why that is the incredibly powerful Oath of the Sea trinket. This is a trinket that turns you into a water elemental, so visually nobody can understand what your class is, what your race is, what your spec is. That means you go into a Arathi base and people are really confused about who to target, especially if you're a healer. An even crazier exploit though comes from Warsong Gulch, because flag carriers are really exploiting this trinket. Breaking targeting macros, breaking add-ons, making it so much harder to figure out who has the flag and where they are. Also on the exploit list, the fact that Dark Moon Fair buff is now obtainable with no cooldown in between. That means you can go into an Arathi basin with Dark Moon Fair. You can also have the Rend buff, the Onyxia buff, so everybody in your group is fully world buffed for every single game. Just remember to bring some chrono boons with you, because let's say you get a full pre-mid on the other team, you can just boon up and secure your buffs for the next game. With PvP out of the way, we've got to talk raiding, and there is a really cool raiding trick that a lot of top raiders are doing in Zul'Gurub. Some groups, they're rushing a car to kill a car with maximum loot. That's simple enough, but the trick is what happens afterwards. See, these guilds, they're employing a strategy where they go right to the Panther boss, and they kill the Panther boss. After killing the Panther boss, you're offered this buff from an NPC nearby, and it lets you get permanent stealth as long as you're in Zul'Gurub. This buff allows you to skip all the trash in ZG, because your stealth, you can just run right past it. That means you can just spend all your time killing the bosses to get the loot you actually want, and you're saving a ton of time. We've also got some really wild economy exploits too. Blizzard offering these completely free server transfers. It is allowing for some crazy exploits that people are still taking advantage of. See, you can get a free transfer from a server like Living Flame, Shadow Strike, and you can go to a server like Crusader Strike in under 5 minutes. That means on a server like Living Flame, you can power farm herbs, you can power farm consumes in complete peace, and then transfer these on a level 1 alt, mule them over, and you can sell them for huge profit. Alternatively, the 5-head move is to actually level your fresh character on a server like Living Flame. You could farm all these crazy items like the Title Charm, the Arena Grandmaster with zero competition. Also, with the transfer system, this is the first time in Classic WoW history you can have a Horde and Alliance character on the same PvP server. I can do some really weird things, really exploitative. For example, I can force log out of my level 20 Warlock and log into my level 60 Priest and then mind control him and give him buffs like Fortitude. Or, not that I'm recommending this, you could basically use one of your characters as a bodyguard for the other one. For example, let's say there's somebody at your favorite fishing spot on Horde. You could technically gank them on your Alliance character, and now you have a spot all to yourself. Personally though, I think that's going too far. I don't like doing things like that, the cross-faction collusion. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to get away from that PvP bloodbath though, and the moral quandary, one of the most beautiful and amazing secret areas you can visit is Mount Hyjal. It is just waiting there, fully fleshed out, gorgeous, incredible location, just waiting for Blizzard to update it for Classic Plus. If you want to be one of the first to explore Mount Hyjal though, you'll definitely need a normal speed mount at least. Then you'll need to head to Southern Winterspring, where you'll have to do some challenging parkour with a very difficult ledge jump to start things off. Or if that's too difficult for you and you want to try an easier parkour, the Caverns of Time is amazing and fully fleshed out as well. East of Chernarus, there is a mountain path you can go up, and if you go all the way around this path, you'll end up in this spot you can drop down into Caverns of Time. I just think this area is so cool, and if there's ever a hardcore PvP server, I know exactly where I'm going to be camping out. While we talk about mind-blowing things you might not have known about, did you know there's a moon well in Stormwind where you can make your moon cloth? If you somehow knew about that obscure moon well, let me know in the comments, because I just learned about it yesterday. Also, did you know there's an Alliance repair vendor right outside of Blackwing Lair? Just outside the north entrance to Blackrock Mountain, across this little bridge, there's a camp with an NPC, and he can repair your gear. He's just ready to fix you up in no time. Also, if you've ever wondered why there are just a bunch of people looking at the wall in the Stormwood auction house, the reason might surprise you. See, these aren't bots, they're just actual players using the Interact with Target feature to target Auctioneer Jackson through the wall. That way you can easily access the auction house and then run back to the mailbox, and you're saving 5 or 6 seconds every single time. But forget about the auction house for a second. What if you have to still hit level 60 really fast? Well, no problem. My leveling guide in the top right is the best way to hit 60 in under 2 days played. But some commenters on YouTube, they do keep bringing up the fact that there is a really good leveling exploit that I didn't really mention in the video. See, if you power farm mobs and incursions, it's just as fast as questing, if not faster. Especially if you combine this with world buffs, it just makes leveling so insanely fast. And when you combine it with the 50 to 60 150% XP boost, you are going to be leveling in no time at all. Though after 5 phases of Season of Discovery, there still remains one method that is just so much fun for breaking leveling. Getting those runes early, the high impact runes, the Star Surge, the Void Plague, it can really speed up your leveling by 2 or 3 times. But now you can actually purchase and mail some of the strongest level 1 runes, and just send them directly to your character. See, runes originally available from farming Wild Offerings in Phase 3, the Rune of Firepower for Hunter Blasting, the Rune of Potency for your Rogue. These can be purchased on your main and just sent directly to your level 1 alt. Meanwhile, you can also purchase and mail runes like the Dark Rider runes from the quest, and you can also mail some really overpowered heirloom items to your characters in Season of Discovery too. At Honored Reputation with your faction's Waylaid Supply NPC, you can buy and mail your level 1 character's rings. Better yet, you can obtain and mail ring runes like 5 MP5, 26 healing power, directly to your level 1s. There are also these really obscure trinkets nobody's talking about from Waylaid Supplies that can really speed up your leveling. The supply expediters you can purchase, these allow you to find significantly more Waylaid supplies out in the world when you're questing. I would love to hear what your favorite exploit in this video was, whether it was from PvP, the new crazy Zul'Gurub strats, or maybe a leveling trick. As always, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for some secret guides coming very soon. And make sure to check out my Phase 5 leveling guide to hit 60 in half the time.